Abumaye, Ruka music for you. Oh, now.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 7 of the Ladies of Sosa Roundtable. Today, me and the ladies will be discussing the role of women in our community and the importance of education. Because honestly, we all know in our culture, the woman's place is usually in the home. But nowadays, our girls are starting to pursue higher education, and even not so, we're starting to find jobs for ourselves and just trying to be more accomplished. And our mothers, I don't know if you guys, but our mothers didn't really have the chance to do that. So now we're going to talk about whether or not, just the different roles of women and what we think women should be like in the home. So,
I honestly feel like before married life, go ahead, pursue your education, pursue whatever you need to pursue. If it's just working, if it's pursuing your personal lifetime goals, go ahead and pursue that. But after you get married, after you settle down and have a family, you need to assume those roles at that point.
you think so?
Yes.
What do you ladies feel like?
I feel like women should be working women. Like when we grew up, we were raised to go to school, to educate ourselves, pursue higher education. I think it would be pointless for a woman to have a PhD hanging as a decoration in her house. No, you went to school to work. Yes, I feel like women should work, help your men work together so that, and I feel like if a man and a woman work together, you can find time to spend together as family. Dinner time will be on time. The kids will be well taken care of. But if the responsibility is only on one person, it makes life even hard.
It does, but after you have that baby, there's such thing as maternity leave. You gotta take the time off to take care of yourself. Not only just yourself, but just take care of the baby in general. So when you have that baby and you give birth, everything changes for you.
But do you think it has to be so black and white that it has to be like either you're at home or you're at your corporate job?
No, it doesn't. But after a certain point, like the first 3 months of the baby's life, it's like don't want to leave.
I understand. First 3 months, yeah, but for 18 years, no.
I guess the main factor of this conversation is that some girls out there, they feel the need to get married and find love over accomplishing yourself and educating yourself. And I've seen that too.
But
I don't know if you have.
I can't blame girls who feel that way because, as we can go back to history, I know y'all read that in the history book that says the role of an African woman is to cook, clean, pray, and take care of her household. I'm not. Yeah, if you read history book in history class, we read that, and that's how everybody believed that that's the role of African women. But nowadays things have changed. Yes. Women are actually pursuing more higher education than men.
That's true.
Do you guys agree?
Yes.
I see a lot of women graduate.
Yes, and I can't lie. Like if right now in my current state, I'm gonna be pursuing my education, pursuing my goals and my dreams. Until I personally didn't want to have kids, period, in my life. I never wanted to have kids for a very long time. But now that I've grown older, I'm like, okay, kids might be in my future, but not in my near future. I'm talking like maybe 30. 30, yes.
That's okay.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's just out of nowhere you end up pregnant.
If I end up pregnant, then everything changes, of course.
Yeah.
I will turn into the homebody. I'll turn into the housewife gladly. Because I know that I want to be there for my family. And I want to be able to, if my husband decides that he wants to work, I don't want to put the pressure on him like, oh, no, you need to come home and babysit these kids so I can go to work.
And how about if your husband don't have a good job and you the one who went to school and have let's just say you find a good job, better job, you get paid more than your husband.
Then you can compromise.
Yes, of course.
You can work something out. Just like I said, if a man, if I bring in an income and my husband brings an income, that way we can plan vacations, we can plan things, we can go to work, do our eight hours each day, come home, make dinner together. Like work is a teamwork. Like parenthood is a teamwork. One person can't do it, and that's why I applaud those single parents that are doing the job for themselves. I mean, it's a lot of work. I don't have children, but no,
Yeah. And
I won't do it by myself.
I get that parenthood should be 100%, but I don't technically agree that it should be 100% for both sides because me personally, I want to work. I want to be a housewife and work in a corporate job. I want to be a working woman at home and in my office or whatever I'm doing. At the same time, I don't want to have to work. I don't want to be that girl that's just like, oh, I have to work because me and my husband have to make ends meet. No, I want to work because I want to. So I do agree that the men should make the majority of the income.
The income. Yes.
I do agree with that.
Because man is seen as the head of the household. You are the provider, the protector. Yes.
That's true.
You provide for the family and protect your family.
I kind of agree with what you're saying, but it's still like, for me, I wanted to work and my man's working at the same time. I don't want to put everything on him, you know? So I want that higher education. And as for him as well, he have to be educated, you know? So we can work together. That'll be good to raise kids too, you know? Well, your husband is educated and you're educated, you know? You can go to work, somebody can come home, watch the kids, and a woman can go to work and then a guy stay home with the kids. Y'all can switch, you know? It's a 50-50 thing. You can't do like the home thing. Oh, you have to stay at home, and then the man goes to work.
But there are men who want their woman at home.
Well,
I will take care of you, just stay home, take care of the kids. They don't want their children to go to daycare or have a babysitter that watches them.
That's crazy.
They
I
feel
wanna
like,
work.
That's money. Like, just
Daycare?
no, to put your kids in daycare, you gotta pay money. And that's a lot of money. So,
It's like, what's the point when you have a mother?
If you can
I
just stay
understand.
home, your husband work
But
until
I
your
get
kids
that.
get to like 5 or 6.
I don't know if the rest of Africa have this system of like in Sudan, in South Sudan, I've seen like a husband that marries a woman, and let's say the husband dies, then his brother or his cousin takes over his position, like becomes that woman's husband. Like, I totally disagree with that part of the culture, and I feel like back then, because women aren't like educated like today, so that when the husband dies, there's no one to provide for the family. So his brother takes over to take care of his brother's, children and his wife. But now, women, things have changed, roles have changed. Women, we educate ourselves, we go even higher and beyond. And I feel like as a woman, you should be strong enough to the point where if your husband passed away, you can take care of your family without the need of someone else to take care of you and your children.
And just to add on to that, even more than just taking care of the family, they can even go to the wife and make another baby. And that they can have more children with that woman, and it would still be considered the deceased father.
Deceased child.
But yeah.
Well, I just don't like that. I disagree with that part of the.
that's guys, that's culture. I mean, you can't change it. Even right now, women are still educated, but they still do that stuff, you know. Because if you're young, like you just marry this guy, you're like 22 years old. You guys just have 2 kids, and he died. And the family, since they pay the cows, they're not just gonna let you go. So the guy's gonna take over.
They
brother.
can't
The
tell
brothers.
me not to. Okay. If you say he's not gonna be your husband, why would you want to have kids with somebody that you don't claim to be your
that's
husband?
culture.
But you don't pull up with the same. Oh my
That's
god.
the
thing
It's not a husband.
Grace.
You're just having kids with him.
But okay, how about if I want to claim him to be my husband, so I can love him and treat him just like my husband, and then how would I have kids with somebody, and then I'm just gonna sleep with him, and then turn my back? We don't even,
No, that's not how they see it in the culture, though. It's just like, my brother died, I'm stepping up.
Yes, we know that this is tradition, and like that's what usually happens, right? But what she was trying to say is that if we had an education, we had a degree, if something like that was to happen, we wouldn't have to rely on that.
Yeah. But to be realistic, those people in that generation, they didn't have a chance to have the education that we do.
Yes.
So that's why they have to rely on our culture.
That's what our culture says we should be housewives. But here in America, in the 2014 culture, we're getting our degrees. We're being independent women.
Yeah.
Moving on to the topic. Okay, in Eunice Millet's excellent book, I love the book, Love Relations for the Junibin Girl, she has a section in there, a chapter where she talks about women, sexuality, embracing their sexuality as women. And yes, I'm not going to go too much in detail, but I want to know how you ladies feel about women embracing their sexuality, because we're in a different time period. Me personally, I'll be real with you. I don't agree with women being too open about their sexuality. I feel like that's just something that we should keep to ourselves and maybe to our husbands. It should be something that's sacred to us.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I feel the same way. I'm a very private person. I don't put my stuff out there. It'll take a lot for you to push me to that point.
It's the same here. I'm very private.
Hey, not all of us can
secretly. I don't just go. No. I have like you have to be my husband. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
She wasn't saying be promiscuous. She was saying that you should know your sexuality, know what you like, know what you dislike, and that's what she was going.
I mean,
with.
if it comes down to that, if it comes down to voicing what you do like and what you don't like, if some guy approaches you and he's like, oh, like, I want to date you, then you can voice how you feel about it. Tell him, no, you're not the type of person I want, or I want this type of person. I want this person to do this. Then yeah, you can voice that. But as far as just like being like on stage, oh yeah, can you do this for me? No.
A lot of people are saying, both men and women, that being a housewife is not a job. And I completely disagree. I think it's ridiculous.
Yes.
But I want to know how you guys feel.
I don't know how they can say that being a housewife is not a job. Like, when your kids get older, they get to that 10, 11, 12 age, they're wanting to participate in sports, you're doing like carpool, you're doing PTA, you're taking them to school, bringing them home, giving them showers. It's a full-time job. Your job does not end. Like, it's not even full-time. Forget that. It's 24/7. It's a job. Because at the end of the day, you don't want your kids turning out crazy.
It's a job.
A responsibility, duty, job is all the same thing. It's all the same word. We asked what the men would prefer, a housewife or a corporate working woman, and it seems like the majority of the men want both. They want someone that could handle, corporate jobs, handle business, have an education, and also be able to take care of their kids.
But are they able to also step up and do both as well?
Yeah.
Is the problem. Because if you want me to do both, I'm going to need your help.
You can't just be women,
That's true. And then on the other hand, a lot of the men said, raising kids is not a job. You're supposed to do that. I'm gonna be making
what
money.
What do you mean supposed to
I'm gonna
do
be
that?
making money.
I
You're
carry
gonna
the
be raising
baby 9 months in the stomach. I bring it out. I have to change the diaper. I have to be all night. The baby cry at night. I don't sleep. You the one sleeping.
No, but you guys don't think that men should
It's a
have
job.
it could be split like 100, not 50-50, but 100. Men could make the money, do this, do that, pay the bills, make sure everything's good, and then the woman take care of the children, raise the children, and both of them can kind of do that. But like the woman takes that as the official role. You guys don't think that could be balanced?
I have a friend of mine who he said that he would love, he's the man, it's his job and it is his duty to provide for his family, to make sure his wife is happy, his children are happy. He said he's willing to go to work, make money, come home, even help if he has to come home and make dinner, because he knows that raising children is not an easy thing. Like pretty much like he's agreeing that being a wife, being a mother is a job. It's not easy. So pretty much he believed that majority of men believe that they should be the provider. So a woman should be at home, take care of the household, take care of the stuff. But nowadays, I mean, you want a wife who like can be on top of her game too. Like when you can't do things, she can grab the phone, make calls, like make business happen. Everybody wants that. And I'm sure, lady, you don't want a dumb husband. You don't want a husband that you can just be like, honey, go to the store.
And no wife wants and no husband wants a dumb wife either.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah. So
even whether you're educated or not, but just be on top of your game. You know what you're doing. And that's what guys want. Men want a go-getter. Women, we need a go-getter too. So
what about the popularity of, girls trying to find marriage and find someone to, make them their husband, as opposed to like getting a degree or just accomplishing themselves, because getting a degree does not necessarily mean you're going to be successful. So what would you tell your daughters? Would you tell them to, get married, do this, do that? Or would you tell them, go to school first?
Yeah.
Honestly, it depends. If they want to be a housewife, that's their aspiration. If they find the guy that's willing to be like, oh yeah, just stay at home, take care of kids, I'm happy for you. Go ahead. As long as he can take care of you, I'm happy for you.
Okay.
For me, I would tell them to go to school, finish college first, and then it's up to. When they're grown, they can make their own choices.
It's up to them to make their own decision. You want to go to school? You want to get married? It's all your happiness. I already bring you up,
like majority of people say education is not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna get educated.
Yeah.
Like with me, I have a personal story. I have a cousin who's very dear to me. Like my cousin, there's no day that she's sat in front of me and we discuss like, oh, so when are you going back to school? Or let's do something. Or let's do this. All she cares about is like, I can't wait to find my husband, get married, have children. Even she didn't even find a husband. She was shopping for her household. She had her stuff. She was working. She got her dishes, and I'm just in there like, oh my God. But now what? She have 3 kids. She have her husband. She's doing her thing. She's happy. That's for her.
it's her happiness.
What makes her happy, it might not be the same thing that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I have my views of life. If that works for her, hey, deuces.
Not everybody's
for you,
cut out. not everybody's cut out to be a full-time housewife, and not everybody's cut out to be a full-time corporate worker. But for me, what I would tell my children, or my daughters especially, I would want them to get their education, at least get a degree, so that they have something to fall back on. Okay, we gotta end this. This could go on for days, but we want to know you guys' opinions. How do you guys feel about the role of women and the importance of education? Do you feel like education is necessary? Do you feel like we could educate ourselves outside of just being in school? Just let us know. We want to hear your opinions. Ladies of Sosa in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Abu Maye, Ruka music for you.